we all do this. We all make excuses. We all use rationalizations and justifications. We all avoid things that are uncomfortable to do, take a lot of effort. And we fool ourselves. There's creative ways we fool ourselves into believing that we're making progress. And when I'm a life coach, I've been doing it for 12 and a half years. Very affordable. Everybody would benefit from it, and I encourage you just to give it a try. The consultation is absolutely free. If you're interested, the email is in the description. And what I see is that having someone that can call out your bullshit, that can be a mirror and reflect back what you're saying in a constructive and critical way, really sets us free. And most of us don't have that because most people are not going to tell you the truth, and we don't even tell the truth to ourselves. We are masters at self deception and manipulation and fooling and lying to ourselves, to thinking that we have the answers, we know what's best, we're on track with the things in our life, or we fool ourselves with like pseudo gold stars to make ourselves feel proud that we're making progress. Reading books, watching videos, um, setting goals, downloading apps. The list goes on and on. And when I'm coaching clients, the focus is action, because that's all that matters. Are you taking action in the areas that are most important in your life? And above and beyond that is consistency. Because a lot of us can take action. New Year's resolutions is a perfect example, for a short period of time, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe even a couple months. But there's a gravitational pull that draws us back to our old habit patterns. That's why having a life coach that's going to help you, support you, and hold you accountable makes a huge, huge difference. And I have some clients that'll take a break from life coaching, and then they'll say, I don't need a life coach. I should be able to do all these things on my own. Why do I need someone else? Or I'll just get a family member or friend. It's not the same. And we are human beings. We need the support and accountability of other people. We don't live in tribes anymore. And so we don't have that. And we're kind of like all our own little islands. And it makes a huge difference to have someone that's going to hold you accountable and support you on the actions that you say you're going to take. But the majority of people don't want to take action, or want to make believe like they're taking action. The inconsistent dieting, stopping and starting different types of diet, is a great example of that. And even people who are watching this video, or you watch other self-development videos, you'll watch it, you'll get a temporary dopamine hit and go, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm one of those people. I watched a video about waking up 5 a.m. in the morning and working and exercising and studying, just becoming this superhuman. And that's not my coaching style. My coaching style is slow, steady, and consistent. Consistency being one of the most important things. But the majority of people who are watching the YouTube channel, or this video and others, they're not taking notes. I even have some clients, that prefer not to take notes, or just don't take notes in the session, and don't necessarily want to make a plan. So I have to go slow with those, and we just kind of work on in baby steps. But the most important thing is, what actions are you taking? That's all that matters, is what actions are you taking in the areas that are most important to you. And not falling for the trap that your brain will fool you, especially the monkey brain will fool you into believing, oh, I'm making progress because I did things or in the periphery. I set a goal, downloaded an app, like I said, read a book. That doesn't count. I have a client who wanted to simplify and minimize her life. And the first thing was, what book can I read in order to be able to do that? And I'm like, you don't need to read a book. Let's set a plan. Let's set some small action items and let's stay consistent with it. But that's what people struggle with. We as human beings, we really struggle with commitment and consistency. And to have success in your life, those are the essential ingredients. Got to have consistency and we got to have commitment, and we got to be patient, because that's why most people fall off of their goals or habits, because they're not patient. And so they give up on the commitment, they give up on the consistency. So action is the focus. So many people, so let's just talk about ourselves. And I really try to catch myself in this as well, is not to fool myself into believing I want something that is a wish list goal. And I call a wish list goal or habit, it's something that, oh, I would love to accomplish, but there's a lot of sacrifice. It requires a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, time, effort, and energy. And deep down, either I don't have what it takes to accomplish that particular goal or habit, or my clients don't have what it takes. And we clear that off the table, because you can waste years of your life with wish list goals. You know, I have a client that want to be a musician, and it's a wish list goal. I want to make my money from being a musician. I have one client's very, very talented, but it always gets put off because, one, the commitment, and maybe it's not fully there, and then also perfectionism. Perfectionism is a dream goal habit killer. Doing something average is better than not doing it at all. And we oftentimes use perfectionism as an excuse to procrastinate. The two P's, perfectionism and procrastination, it's incredible how easily and how often these go hand in hand. And so you just want to catch yourself. Is perfectionism a form of me avoiding something that I'm not fully committed to, I don't have what it takes to complete or accomplish, or I'm just too afraid to do it? Fear is a big one. And so if you're honest with yourself, and then you can identify it and go, okay, I'm just going to do above average. That is going to be my standard, above average. If I hit above average and I do that consistently, I'll be able to move mountains. But everything has a price. Everything requires sacrifice, and just be honest with yourself. And that's what we do in coaching, is I really cross-examine my clients' goals. Are you willing to sacrifice for this? Are you truly committed to this? This is going to require you being uncomfortable. This is require maybe you waking up early. This is require you changing your dietary habits, your sleeping patterns, your phone addictions. And so you got to give up something in order to get something. And we're hardwired towards immediate gratification, which leaves us empty and unfulfilled. And it's important to identify, and a lot of people are unable to do that because you're just too close to the situation. And that's what another thing we do in coaching. What is at the root cause of the thing that is creating resistance? And if you get to the root cause, if there's relationship issues in a marriage, or in with your girlfriend or boyfriend, and there's like reoccurring friction, but you're committed to improving the relationship, you're committed to reading books, or even maybe going to therapy. But if at the root cause is you're angry at your partner for something they did in the past, and you're not letting that go, that is always going to be like a brick wall that will prevent you from moving forward. And that might be an unconscious thing. You don't realize it. Oh, I'm bitter and angry towards my partner. And once you pull out that weed from the roots, or you talk about it, hey, this is what made me angry. I'd like to discuss it. I'd like to make sure that these types of things don't happen again. You're able to process it and release it. Or it could be fear. You use all the excuses. You want to do something. You want to change careers. You want to do what you've always been passionate about. But you're living in a place deep down unconsciously, you're just fearful. Oh, how am I going to be able to pay the bills? How am I going to support my family? There's no jobs. It's so hard to make in that career. Will I even succeed? Is it worth it even putting forth the effort? And if you're honest with yourself and we discuss it in our session, it like releases you. And you go, okay, I have we need to address that fear. We say, okay, well, let's make a plan for that fear and start what you want to do part-time while you still have your full-time job. Just for example, it doesn't have to be, we make these things like all or nothing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Maybe, talking to your partner, if you live with your partner, and get her support or his support towards your dream. And that the fearful part of your brain can go, okay, he's addressing those things. She's addressing those things that cause the fearful part of your brain to get triggered. And if you comfort it, reassure it, make it a plan, then you could again move forward. But it's so important to get down to the root. What is actually blocking me? It also could be your value system. Some people's value system is approval. And so they don't want to perform in other people. They don't want to put their artwork or their music or their writing out there because they're fearful of being judged, getting rejected. They don't want to be honest in their communication with other people because at the root cause, their highest value is to get approval. And instead of the value system being, I want to make myself uncomfortable, I want to focus on growth, that's my value system. I want to be authentic. I want to put effort into accomplishing things in life instead of passively being an observer of my life and playing it safe. All those things are at the root cause and will form and shape how you complete your goals, how you live your life. And again, getting down to the roots is really, really important. If you're not addressing the coping mechanisms that you use or that you have in order to deal with emotions, so let's say you want to change your eating habits and you're emotionally eating, you're having stress, regular stress and anxiety in your life, but you're going to still go on a diet plan. You're like, okay, I don't care. It's, the new year is coming up and I'm going to set this eating healthy dietary plan that I'm going to stick to. If you don't address the root cause that, hey, I use food, I use my cell phone, I use social media, I use Netflix, YouTube, whatever. I use these things to numb out to my pain, emotional pain, my stress, my anxiety, my worries, my fears. If you don't address that, you're not going to be able to stay consistent. And that's what we do in coaching, is we address the underlying cause of why you gravitate toward these bad habits that only give you temporary relief. And we come up with healthier ways to deal with the stress, anxiety, sadness, loneliness, anger, and very solution orientated. And so we come up with a plan. Again, like the theme of this video, it's about taking action. And there's things that we can do that will transform our lives simply by taking action. That anxious part of ourselves can then start calming down. So for example, if saving money, if you're a person that's constantly worried and stressed about money, we come up with a plan on how to significantly improve your finances. And we just take it piece by piece. So a lot of people, what they try to do, like anxiety is your friend when it's channeled in a healthy way. It's a call to action. Anxiety is a call to action. And again, getting down to that root cause will help you to avoid the bad habits that you use to numb out. So for example, this morning I woke up a little anxious. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? What am I feeling anxious about? And then I just sat and I did like a listening meditation. I would ask a question, and then these answers started bubbling up, and then I wrote it down, and I just made it an action plan. And then the anxious part of my brain can relax. And because what it wants to know, we've evolved to survive. And what it wants to know is that your survival, you're pursuing things to ensure your survival. You're pursuing things to ensure your health, to ensure your wealth, to ensure your social connections, to ensure your contentment and joy, to ensure that you're spiritually grounded and strong. All of those areas are vital to mental and physical health. And when we ignore them, we're out of alignment. And there are consequences to that. We feel worried, stressed, anxious, sad, discontent, and then we look to the external world in order to fulfill it. And it's very empty because you get the thing that you want, and then you're like, oh, that didn't do it. Okay, let me set another external goal and another external goal. That's why when I'm coaching people and the way I live my life, it's not about the external. That's secondary. The primary is the internal. And when you get the internal in alignment, when you're grounded, when you have a strong spiritual practice, the external just takes care of itself, and you're able to take action. You don't get so overwhelmed. Procrastination and avoidance is not as big of a deal. And that's why I love in coaching to focus more on the internals. There's a number of clients don't want to go internal. They just want to focus on external, and that's okay. But I notice there's the contentment and the bar, the level of happiness increases more permanently when we heal ourselves internally. And then it allows us to, sets us free to take action in the things we want. And it even redefines the things that we want to take action on. Because when you have a strong spiritual core, you realize how superficial most societal or cultural pursuits, the things that we've been raised and brought up to believe, these things are important, these are the things that you need to pursue, you realize how superficial and empty and shallow they are. And that there's a much healthier, a much more fulfilling way to live one's life that goes against white sheep thinking and brings you a deep sense of joy. And I think that's what everybody wants. But it's so elusive because we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people, and we're trying to keep up, or what you see in your society, in friend circle, cultural circle, whatever is mainstream, it has a huge influence upon us. And one of the reasons you might be having difficulty taking actions in certain areas of your life is because those pursuits that you have been brainwashed or conditioned to believe are important are not at your core important to you, but you just might lack the courage to take action on the things that are important to you. And it's a beautiful life when you have that alignment. And again, this is my career, so I'm a big believer in it, and I've seen the benefits of it. Coaching makes a huge difference in helping people get their lives back in alignment and to take action in things that are important to them, or just to realize, hey, you know what? I'm bullshitting myself. I don't want to make the sacrifice. And then it frees you to focus on things that you're willing to take action, put effort towards. And then you could stop beating yourself up about all the things like, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. Meanwhile, years pass and you're still the same weight. You can say, okay, maybe I don't want to lose weight that badly. So let me focus on things that I will stick to, or I am committed to, or are important enough for me to give up the sacrifice in order to get it. I I look at self-development, I look at growth. It's a beautiful thing. A lot of people will approach self-development as onerous, as a burden, as oh, it's too hard, it's too time consuming. I look, man, if you just grow 2% every month, within 2 years, that's close to a 50% change in transformation. And it's something that gets you excited when you wake up in the morning. Hey, I am going to grow 2% this month, and I just have to do small little things, take action, and do it consistently. And it feels so good, because when we put effort into life, when we are a man or woman of our word and we follow through on our commitments, our self-esteem grows, and it feels empowering, and it feels like you can accomplish just about anything that you're committed to. So if you're interested, I'll help you get there. The email is in the description. If you want to support the channel, it's greatly appreciated. There's a PayPal link in the description. And in the comments, what would you like to take action on that you haven't been doing? And is it something that you're willing to sacrifice for? Because again, once you make that distinction, it just clears the muddy waters. Thanks for tuning in. If you like the video, please give it a like and subscription if you're not already subscribed, and look forward to the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.